I don't like the items in League item system in League of Legends right now. I just don't. I think it's really annoying, especially when a lot of champions I like just don't have optimized itemizations. And if you're an ADC and you remember this word, then I'm sorry for you, right? This is one of the reasons I don't like playing hyper carries. It's because non-optimized itemizations, and right now it's really really annoying. I don't think it's like the worst system, but like I hate that Riot's approach this. It's just buff individual champions. Oh, what's that? Israel doesn't have an optimized mythic item? Buff him! Wait, now he's overpowered because there is an optimized mythic item? Nerf the mythic item! Well, what do you think will happen? He'll fall down. A lot! Non-optimized itemization. And I want to make this video real quick, and I just want to... this is the item changes I wish would happen. These are not the changes that need to happen. I don't think these are even the best changes. These are just the changes I wish would happen, instead of just individually buffing champions. Like, Aphelios has been buffed to hell because non-optimized itemizations, because he has been nerfed to hell. Xayah, hyper carries, Twitch has had a lot of changes recently. Why is that? Why is the best changes right now are just poked ADCs? And I mean, like Caitlyn, Jin, what's her name? And like almost like Samir, right? She's supposed to be like a mid-game champion, right? Like mostly oriented around mid to late game. But she has her own poke. Why is that? Why is it bully champions are just so good right now? Like I get it, Jinx. Okay, she's like she's really good. But that's because she fits into the items much better than other champions. Plus, she's just been buffed to hell. So, and I'm so annoyed. Like, it's a lot of this is to do with itemization. I get that this problem actually goes a long time ago, not just to this like season, but this season it's really annoying. Like, let's say you're at Twitch, right? And you're like, okay, I'm into a game. What do I build, right? You're into a game. Let's go. I want to show you items. I really hate like the items and sets here. Anyway, I'm gonna try to pull up. Sorry for that. I'm gonna try and pull up like a League of Legends items. I'm not using Firefox this time because I am. Because it causes my game to crash or something. League of Legends items, right? Just real quick. I wonder now it's gonna show all the items. You know. Oh shit! It's not that. Okay, it's not like what I want. It's not what I want. I don't know if there's gonna be like. Okay, here we go. Here, this is what I wanted. Hey, you're at Twitch. And you go up to God damn it, why is this so laggy? Why is this so laggy? Damn. That's a lot of removed items. I want to check out that later. Anyway. Okay, you're at Twitch. You go up to a game and now wait, what do I build? I wanna build an on-hit build, right? That's what he wants to do. Obviously now with like mage items, I'm actually really not sure what's the best and optimal build for him. I've been testing a lot of builds. I guess AD still works the best because it just has a more narrative path to it, other than mage, which actually I think has better late game. Don't quote me on that. But like, okay, let's ignore that for a second. Let's just say he's building AD, right? What does he want to do? First of all, he wants to build like the best on-hit item, the item that every hyper carry wants to build. Blade of the Ruined King. Where is this item? Where are you hiding at? Goddamn bugger. Here we go. Blade of the Ruined King, right? By the way, the item is kind of bad right now, in kind of like a bad spot. I guess it's not like underperforming, it's just not really good for ADCs, and I'll explain. But he's like, wait, this doesn't give me any crit, this is not a mythic item, I can't do anything with this, right? I need to build a mythic item. It doesn't have to. We can build like Blade of the Ruined King into Runins into his mythic item of choice, which is gonna be Krakenster, because all the others are shit. Like, absolutely shit. Which is just annoying. Again, third item mythic is never good. It's always a sign that a champion is underperforming because he cannot get those better stats. Look at the difference. 65 AD, 25 attack speed, 20 crit chance. What does Bork give you? Gives you 10 lifesteal, 25 attack speed, which is good, 40 AD. Let's say the lifesteal is somehow equal to the crit. It's not. You still get less stats. And let's not even say that Krakenster gives you bonus attack speed. Not a lot, not a little. It's 10%. With first item, you get already an additional 10%. And you just built your second item. Like, if you go Borg, I guess you could still like go secondary Krakenster. But then you have only 20% crit, which is bad, obviously. When like someone like Jinx, right? She has Krakenslayer first item, which fits really well into her, plus a Runin's Hurricane, which fits really well into her. She has 40% crit now. You only have 20. Sure, you get that bonus attack speed, but you need to build Krakenslayer first. It's better stats. It's better for you. But it's not what you want to build. You still want that Borg. Remember, this is like the hyper carry item. Like, sure, you could balance champions around it, but why? Why balance champions around not having to build one of the items they really, really want to build, rather than making that item actually good? You go to the core of the problem. I don't think all hyper carries are underpowered. I think their itemization is just bad. What do I think this item should have? I think it should have crit. I think this item needs to have crit, right? Give it crit. Or better yet, make it a mythic item. I'll get to that later. Right now, I just want to talk about the build. Okay, you build Krakenster, cool. You build secondary Runins, cool, you're good. Now you want to build third Blade of the Ruined King. Remember, this is still an item you really, really want. It's bad, sure. It's not optimal, yes. It's still an item that almost every hyper carry really needs. If you're a Twitch, then you have like 7% Omnivamp from your runes, and that's it. And you really need the lifesteal. Your only other option is to get Bloodthirster, which is just no. It's not a good for third item. It's just not, right? It may be later on. Maybe it doesn't have any attack speed. It's okay. You don't want to build second item. This is the item you want to build as a hyper carry. You can't. Simple answer. You can't. Before, when crit was better, you could build 3 crit items and move on, right? That's 75% crit chance. You move on. You get 2 other items that are not crit, or even like another item that is crit to get like better. Plus, obviously, if you're like a misfortune, right, you want like 4 items. If you're a hyper carry, then you usually want like just 3, plus like 2 other items. To make 5 plus boots, you're good. Like, you're set. Plus, you can build Bork first item, which is great. You don't need that 25% crit. It's good, but only when you get like the second item and get that 50% or that 75%. Now, you need 4 items. 4 crit items. To just get to a place where you're good. Not 3, not 2. 2 is still garbage. 40%? That's garbage, right? That's good, yes, kinda. If you have like really good attack speed, but it's just not. You need that 4 crit items. But you want to build Bork. Like, you get what I'm saying? This is so dumb how the system works right now. I really don't like it. And let's say you're a hyper carry, right? You're a Twitch, or then right, they're like, okay, Runins, no, Rageblade. Look at this. This is just bad. This is just bad. There's a reason no champion wants to build it. There's a reason every hyper carry just moved on to crit build. This is not good. And it's not because of the cost riot. It's not because of that. It's because it's bad. It gives you nothing. Okay, technically, Runins also gives you nothing. It gives you attack speed, crit chance, and movement speed. That's actually a lot of attack speed. Look at the difference. Okay, that's also 45%. It doesn't give you that movement speed, but okay. Like, Runins doesn't give you anything. Yes, but it goes with the rest of your build really well, especially when it's cost is so low, and you can just build it into more on hit, and then you hit more on hit. Rage Blade doesn't do that. It doesn't give you anything. You have to build it in order to deal that on hit, which is just not good. It's not good on hit. It doesn't give you that much. And the worst part, you can't combo these. You can't combo these because it's too expensive for you to waste your money on. These items just don't go together. You cannot just build 3 items and still be on a weak side before you get to your power spike. You can't do that. That's already late game. That's the part where you should be carrying, not the part where you say, okay team, I need another item. Before, Rage Blade was actually good and comboed well with Ruin's Hurricane, which is good. That's what it should be, right? So right now you kind of have to choose between them. Now, obviously, always Ruin's is going to be better. Almost always, it's going to be better. So then you're sitting there, 1 item wasted, 1 of them is your mythic item, doesn't even always go well. Like Twitch doesn't get too much from Kraken's there. He wants the attack speed, he wants the on hit, kinda. He cares more about the AD than actual on hit because of his E. But anyway, you're still bad, right? I don't want to drag this too long because I really want to get to the core problem. And then you're like, okay, cool. Let's say you got this, and you got this. Cool. You're kind of set. You have your 60 crit. Just imagine the difference in 60 crit and 75% crit. That is a big difference. Like, you're good-ish. You don't got your core item, right? You don't got that core Blade of the Ruined King item. If you do get it, then you still need the 4th Infinity Edge item. It doesn't matter what you get. You're always going to say, I need that 4th item. And having to get to 4th item just to hit your base power spike is ridiculous. Plus, you can't build Wit's End. You have only 10% lifesteal, and that's it. Before, you could build like Wit's End, and I don't want to say before, and I'm repeating myself a lot, but it's just really annoying. Right? You get that stupid little 10% lifesteal, and that's it. You have to move on to the AD, and then guess technically late game you get like also Bloodthirster. That's 5 items! You're already full build, and you're still not that optimized. Like, I guess technically, okay, if Twitch gets to 4 items, he can carry. Don't get me wrong, if a Twitch gets to 4 items, he can carry. I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying there's bad in the core where you have to get to 5 items to get your 80% crit. That's not good, right? That's really, really, really not good for hyper carries. If you could just skip on it, then that's pretty cool, right? Like, Jinx has enough attack speed to just like say, no, I don't need that. I got enough on hit, and I got enough attack speed to just say no. But obviously, you still want it. And if you skip it, then you still have non-optimized itemizations, right? Because not all of your items fit that well into you. Here's my fix. I got a couple of fixes, okay? First one, that's a simple one. Make Bork a mythic item. Give it crit, make it a mythic item. I guess technically either one could, if you make a mythic item, you need to give it crit, right? It needs that crit. And I know that they're like, yeah, but bruisers want to build it. There's like 1 or 2 bruisers that really want to build. Like, there's a lot of bruisers that want to build it, but they could go on, right? They could go on to better things, better builds, different builds, right? I don't think there's too many bruisers are really, really gonna miss it. I guess Jax, but he could still build it even if it gives crit, right? You're not lowering any of the stats, and if he already builds it, then he would want to build it. Okay, technically that means he can't build like Trinity Force, but I also think Trinity Force should be a mythic item. So, that's again for another time. I don't mind Trinity Force right now. I guess I do. I really, really do. Okay, but I want to talk about hyper carry items more specifically. It's because these bother me a bit more right now. I think it should be a mythic item, right? I think Bork should be a mythic item and give it crit. You could still just give it crit and then then it could build into, and that's guess better, but I still think at the core of it, it needs to be a mythic item. I think it makes too much sense that it is. And I know you're gonna be like, wait, but now you can't build Kraken's there in Bork. You don't really want to do that anyway right now, right? Because non-optimized itemizations, because you don't get crit, And because you don't want to build it fourth item, right? The third or fourth item. If you build it third, then you don't get the crit. If you build it fourth, then that's way too late to just get your core item. You want to build it first. And I think almost every hyper carry would rather have Bork as a mythic item that could build early, especially if you like buff on the stats, give it some extra pizzazz, right? A good mythic passive. They could change like a bit of this stuff to fit it better into a mythic item. I think every hyper carry would much rather have that than Kraken Sarah, because Kraken Sarah has good built-in AD scaling, which if you want to build is cool. Not every hyper carry wants AD. Actually, a lot of hyper carries don't want AD. They want on hit, which is less AD, more on hit. That's the main core of it, right? Attack speed and a bit of AD, right? I guess the idea is that like if you attack a lot, then you get more procs of it. But almost every champion is already gonna reach high attack speed. Like Jinx can just reach high attack speed without building too much attack speed because of her passive and because of her attack speed ratios, right? She could just not build too much attack speed and still get to that 2.5. And yes, technically you could like get higher than that with like runes and stuff. But does that really matter? Are those extra attacks really gonna make up for the fact that you build less AD? I don't think so. Maybe, right? I don't know. To me, I think. I'm saying I think because I'm not a genius, but I think most hyper carries would rather build Bork as a mythic item than build Krakenster. Especially because a lot of them love lifesteal. A lot of them really, really want lifesteal. And love building it and want to have it early on. And if not, it's a big problem. If you really, really, really want to just like do the bare minimum, give it crit. Also, it's a nit crit ratio. Like, it really does. If you want to make the item actually viable for hyper carries, it needs that crit ratio. That's okay. And I've got two experimental changes. These are changes that I don't know need to happen. I don't think need to happen, but I would like them to happen. Because in my opinion, it's better system overall, right? And the first one is that you could upgrade whichever legendary item you want to a mythic item, instead of having to build a mythic item. So obviously all of the mythic items become legendary items, and you can just like choose the mythic item you want, the legendary item to what you want, and you upgrade it to a mythic item. And then it gets like extra stats, possibly something extra on its passive, plus that mythic passive, right? And then you can choose which mythic item you want to buy. That's such a good system, a healthy system for other champions, right? Because champions right now that can't build first mythic item really suffer, right? They really, really do. Like, take for example Ezreal before Sundara. Take Corki, Twitch, right? Champions that really struggle with first building a mythic item because it's just not optimized for them. It's just really hard for them to do something good, right? And if you do that, like you just like choose that item to upgrade to a mythic. In my opinion, it's a better system. You get just like, oh, what's that? You want to first build Nash's Tooth? Well, now you can upgrade that Nash's Tooth to a mythic item. Cool. You want to build that? Well, now that can be upgraded to a mythic item. That's the first experimental change, right? I think this will help a lot of champions, but also might hurt other champions. I don't know. This is why I'm saying it's an experimental change. I would like it to happen, but I don't know if Riot will make it happen. The second one is a massive crit overhaul, right? Let's say right now you're at Twitch, right? And you want to build AP. AP actually gives you a lot. And AP gives you a lot on Twitch right now. But you also want to build some attack speed and some on hit. The best build would be Nash's Tooth into Riftmaker, into Bork, into Runins, into AP, right? Rest of AP. Whatever you want. I'm not sure what's the best after that, right? It's It's a bit problematic, right? Okay, that's a bad example. Let's scratch that over. Um, I don't like how a crit works. Right? I don't like how you get like a 20% crit and it means pretty much nothing for you because the chances are so low you're actually gonna get a crit and you can't control it. In a game that's really all about skill, I hate that there's a variable you cannot control. It's based on luck. There's nothing worse than dying to a random crit chance. There's nothing worse than not getting that crit and someone living on 5 HP. I'm suggesting an overhaul to the idea of crit chance that makes sense to me. I don't know. It might be a bit too overpowered, but here's what I'm suggesting. Every item you get will give you like. Okay, so you start with 0, right? You start with the 0%. You don't percent. You have to start with the 0. Obviously, everyone starts with the 0 crit. And then let's say you buy one item. So 1 in every 6 attacks. Like, so you attack 6 times. Your your sixth attack. Sixth attack would crit, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, crit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, crit. Obviously, it's supposed to be low because you're not supposed to get too much by one item, which is kind of what it's not now. The 20% crit chance means nothing to you. It's basically a waste of a stat. But obviously, the more you accumulate, that actually is worth something. I suggest like an actual controllable variable to this. Then you get second item, then every third attack. So 1, 2, crit, 1, 2, crit. Or every fourth attack. I'm not sure what's more balanced. Then your third attack, it's crit, not crit, crit, not crit. I mean, not crit, crit, not crit, crit. Like 1, crit, 1, crit, 1, crit, right? And then 4 item, that's crit every time. Right might think it's a bit too broken. I think it's a balanced system. You can actually like have a variable you control. Getting an item, getting like 2 crit items is no longer nothing for you. Sure, it's 40% crit chance, but it's also 60% to not crit. And that's not controllable variable. If you know which attack is gonna crit, you can manage it better. There's nothing like you attack a minion that happens to me so many times and it just randomly crits. You have only 20% crit chance, and it randomly crits, and you don't get the CS. Right? You can actually control that variable. To me, this means everything. This means everything. I could manage my CS. I can manage my CS better. I can manage everything better. And that's only 2 items. You actually get something for building 2 crit items. This system might end up being a bit too broken, and they might need to like balance crit items around it. So that might need to be like a preseason change, right? Because like it's gonna be a big change, and if they want again, I think it could also be cool if crit items, there was like special crit items that had special interactions, right? Like what about an assassin item to make it so every 10 seconds your next auto attack will crit 100% of the time, right? And then the more crit you build, the less that is. Because right now, let's say you get like an Instance Reaver, right? That 20%, that means nothing to you. What if there was like an actual way to guarantee a crit, but a specific amount of time? Because you don't want to attack 6 times, but you still want that crit to mean something. Obviously, the item would start like at a really long time, like 20%, 20 seconds, and then like your first like crit item will lower it down to like 18 or something, like, right? That could be really cool. Like, you can make special items around the system. But just having, like, that controllable variable to crit, I think, is a better system overall. And I'd really like for Riot to make that change. Really do. Like, I think it's a better system. I think that's all I have today for items. It's been a massive rant, but, like, my throat is literally hurting right now. I definitely need to drink some water. So, yeah, that's it.